So our meeting space is in there.
Okay.
And we'll kind of orient you to the restroom and.
Okay.
Welcome.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good to see you again.
Good to see you.
Oh, thank you for coming.
Sure.
Hi. Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
How awesome is this?
It's nice to see you. Please make yourselves at home. I can show whoever, well, at some point you'll need the restroom, so I can show you where that is. The kitchen, we've got some cold water, and then I have hot water that's ready for tea. And I make a pot of coffee if anybody wants that. So,
Awesome.
all right.
Brought our own.
Awesome. Okay, put that pot on. Does anybody need to use the restroom at the moment? Okay. We also have a spot here for you to write your name badge. So that's right here by the door.
Okay.
I'll get one for you too.
Do you remember what my name is? Nice bag.
Thanks, a friend just got it for me. Oh my God, that's sweet.
The whole look is just.
Oh, thank you.
It's working. I'm glad you came. Thank you. You guys are in a real treat.
Oh, good.
You'll have to tell me afterwards.
Okay.
You're
Never know which layer to put it on.
This is my first trip down. I have been Zooming for,
the whole time.
yes.
Wow. But you've been here before. You're
No, this is the first visit.
to this place ever.
Yeah.
Wow.
Hi, how are you?
Good.
I'm Shanika.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Sit anywhere. There's coffee, tea. You're early.
I was
It's.
actually gonna ask, is there like a microwave in here?
I think so. There's a kitchen around to the left.
Okay, thank you.
What did you say? Is there a margarita?
Microwave. Hey, that's wishful thinking.
That's tonight's class.
I'll also be at the powwow on November 19th in Baltimore at the Timonium Fairgrounds. Yes, the Baltimore American Museum. So, or most powwows around. Run into me again. And of course, I make myself available by email and stuff like that. Now, the policy is, I wrote you guys an email a couple of days ago just to get you hyped on the class.
And everything you were doing to prepare for it.
Yeah. Oh, it's so much work. But I realized I should not have done that because that exposed all your email addresses, I think. So, but they asked that if you email me first, because we aren't supposed to use your registration for our purposes as part of their privacy policy. So, just to let you
I'm
know.
good.
I'm good. It's like everybody else in the world does.
I know, it seems like it. I mean, were you at Camp Lejeune? And you got that email?
Oh, God.
Gosh.
I mean, really. I was like, can I opt out of those?
I know.
My son Googled, he was looking for a young lady who grew up across the street from our old house. He hadn't seen her in years because he's been living in North Carolina and just moved back to Baltimore. So he just Googled and got her name, address, phone number, everything.
Yeah.
So,
I tried to tell my brother that he's so like no computer, and I said somebody called a family member or something, and he's like, how did they find out? I'm like, Ernie, you can get your number off the internet. No, you can't. I'm like, okay.
Oh, yeah, they can.
Okay.
yes.
They can get everything.
And it's unimaginable that
It is.
We used to have yellow pages,
Yeah.
remember?
Still get one, come on.
We used
Have to go to the library.
Some modicum of privacy. We have
Or
not-
so we thought.
So we thought.
Usually solved our
So we
note
thought.
taking problem.
Oh, remember you wanted to
Yeah,
write
it's very
something down?
disconcerting. I mean, and that's where these things, ADD and stuff.
I wanted to write down the directions of how we got here.
Oh, I'll write it down. It'll be in my phone too.
Peter, you need anything?
Now, how full time are you? Are you gonna do the introduction in what?
I'll
5
just say
minutes?
hello, but you can take over from that and kind of orient them again. Thanks. Let's see what time.
Okay.
Gordon, are there
I'm-
clipboards somewhere? I thought
Yes, there
sometimes,
are.
I didn't know if we'd be writing down.
Yeah,
I'm
we
gonna
have.
forget stuff. You will get a handout, a booklet, or short
Words
words.
are behind you. Do you mind if I? You don't have to move, but do you mind if I step on this side? Thank you. Yes. And I'll just sit these over by the front door if anybody else needs a clipboard.
Okay. I'd like one, please.
There you go.
Yes.
Isn't that funny? You said you wanted a pen and paper to write something.
We also have Run for the Journey folders. Peter has his handouts bound already, but if you'd like one of those just for anything, I'm happy to give you one. And if you don't and you decide later you want one, I'll have them sitting by the door. Thank you. You're welcome. Anybody else need one?
Oh, no, thank you.
Break, yeah. Be getting tours at the break. It's nice, isn't it?
It is nice.
We're expecting 4 more folks and one did notify us that they were in traffic. So we're just gonna give it a couple more minutes and then I'll do our official welcome and hand things over to Peter, and you're in great hands for a wonderful program. It's a nice day to be together.
And as far as I'm concerned, you can record or take pictures or whatever, it's fine with me, you know. Nothing to hide. I am what I am. If you make money off of it, more power to you. Show me what you did, eh?
There's a truck down on Seminary Avenue right at York Road, so they're kind of directing traffic around it.
We came down 83 from Harrisburg and
You came
the
along.
traffic going north was, how long?
Oh,
Miles. Just parked there.
And then there was a second accident.
Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
Yeah, but going north, and were they heading up to Harrisburg?
I guess.
Right.
That's the direction, but it was really bad.
Because usually it's people from Pennsylvania coming into work in Baltimore, so this time of day I would think
Yeah.
southbound would be.
There's a lot of trucks and stuff, and it was before you got Is it between York and the Maryland line, right? Yeah, York and
Okay.
Maryland
Huh.
line.
They do road work, is the lane closed or anything? Sometimes they're doing,
Nope.
No, this was an accident. They had tow trucks. One was a tractor trailer.
Now, what about the classmate you come all the way from Pennsylvania?
I did, I made her come home.
Because you
She
just
said she was going, and I said I wanted to go along.
Glad you did.
No, I've taken Zoom classes since during COVID, so.
You're just taking classes, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it is kind of a unique subject, isn't it?
It is.
yeah.
A little bit, okay.
And Gordon leads my mystic group.
So is this,
Oh, there you go. Wow.
is this the first time you're in the building then?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Not first time.
Okay, yeah, it's a neat place.
It is. I'm gonna give tours during the break.
They keep on
Or you
moving.
can go, or you can just go on your own. Yeah.
Yeah, we do have a third floor. I'd be happy to show you.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, the
Thank
attic,
you.
I got the tour of the attic last time I was there.
Well, it looks a little different. Yeah.
Well, I guess it was carpeted and kind of a little
But we've
space.
completely,
Over it, maybe,
yeah, it
okay.
looks really good. We call it the upper room. And it has those implications in the Christian story, but more than anything, because we're not affiliated with a particular faith, it's just comfy cozy. Like you just want to take a little nap up there. So yeah, during the break, if you want, we can show you that. Coffee's just about ready, and again, there's hot water for tea if anybody would like that. There's ice cold water there too, and we'll wait for Maria to come back from the restroom, and then we'll get started and pray that our other guests make it safely.
Oh.
I'm sure it's traffic.
And so, you know,
Well, yeah, for what we ran into.
a lot of the content will be in the booklet, so if you have to run out or anything, you can, you know, pick it up. And like I said, I'll make myself available. If you have to take a phone call or whatever, get a cup of coffee. It's all good.
And while we're waiting, just to use the time effectively, you received this laminate copy. Feel free to read those over. Peter will touch base about those. But we like to have those kind of guidelines when groups get together, just so everyone feels included. So, you looking for the coffee? I'll show you.
I thought the class started at 9, so I was rushing here
Oh.
and didn't stop.
And then we had a false start. We were supposed to do this class weeks ago. Anyone else? You want to try it?
Sure.
God.
It's like a necklace when it gets all twisted up.
Oh, you have expertise. I don't wear jewelry, so I don't know. God.
If you can't get it out, I'll
Okay.
Oh, man. Talented
I've
fingers.
been having
Okay, but
plenty of things out of
But
knowledge.
you have to have fingernails, and I don't.
I have some.
Okay, oh, that.
Oh, yeah, you got 'em.
And where did you come from, Shamika?
DC.
Nice.
Yeah.
It's a long trip. Now, what made you come from DC?
One of my friends invited me.
Bernita?
Yeah. But she this date didn't work for her because she's at a retreat. So yeah.
So she invited you and then left you on your own.
Originally no.
Yeah.
So Bernita won't be here today?
No,
Oh,
because
okay.
she said she won't get back until tomorrow night.
We didn't hear from her, so no, I'm gonna move this chair out so you can work with that.
from here? From
Yeah, I live nearby.
And you've been here before?
I have.
Are you on the board? Staff?
It's almost
Have you
gone.
taught here?
Nope. I just come, there's so many neat offerings and I come when I can and I've done a little bit of online stuff, but I love being here. Cause they keep on moving closer and closer to me. First they were down in Towson, then they moved north a little bit and then this is the third different location I've been in.
And from the looks of this place, before long, they'll be in your house.
That's right.
Your house will
But
take
there's
you away.
gorgeous parking and they're just around the corner from me now, so.
Great. Wow, that's great. So I'll have like a veteran to compare me to the rest of the teachers. And Lori?
I live in Jarrettsville, and I saw it on Facebook. I have a wellness center on the bottom of my house.
Is that,
Jarrettsville Zen Den.
okay.
So when I saw it, I'm like, oh, that sounds like close.
Oh,
Not too far. Yay, look at that.
wow. Wow, great. So I could offer a class like this there, potentially.
Sure.
Nice. Okay, good. So some of this stuff will be familiar to me, but some of it won't.
Always open.
And then the way in which I teach it, I'm really inspired by this thought of scaffolding. That one lesson leads to another, and each supports the next, and you get higher and higher levels of learning. But it's kind of inverted because I give you the most powerful bit first, and then I kind of work around, I noodle around. So we'll see. Great, welcome, Martha. Thank you.
Hi.
Yeah, and you are right on time.
I don't hear that very often.
Good for you. So this class originally was funded by the Maryland State Arts Council. It was designed for veterans.
Really?
Yes, for veterans for PTSD reduction. It was the first time the Arts Council, through the Teaching Artist Grant, had done something for veterans. Most of the teaching artists work in K through 12 and senior living. Yeah.
I have a friend who has APS.
Great! So you'll be able to instruct him, teach him some of the things you'll learn today.
Yeah.
So that's what I encountered. I got so little support from the VA and it really to the veterans themselves, but so we decided to try to offer it to, regular lay people and see how it goes. And I'll get all into that in the introduction. But that's why you'll see this veterans thing all the time. But yeah. Good. It's actually, and the grant, it's called Secular Shamanism. Secular Shamanism is the art form. And it is a form of shamanism because what I'm going to teach you is how to go into a trance, a shamanic trance. And then it's secular because usually a shaman goes in to the trance for communication with the creator or great spirit or God or what have you, or the ancients. But we don't do that. We instead go within, and so it has no religious, bearing. So, right, turn it over.
All right, so warm welcome to everyone. We're so glad you could be here on our spiritual campus. Anything you need today, just let Peter or myself know. I'll be upstairs working and I'll be popping in. Restrooms around the corner. Some of you have been already, so I'll let you show each other. Again, we've got stuff for coffee and hot tea and cold water. And then Peter will have you guys break for lunch at some point.
If you're lucky.
If you're lucky. He's got a tight schedule here. And if you didn't bring lunch and you're hungry and you want to order something in the area, I could help with that, I can clip some stuff, but, yeah. So, we're so excited that you could be here today. We know we had to reschedule, so we're glad Peter as well. And we want everybody to feel comfortable. So if you want to wear a mask, we've got some extra ones. If you didn't bring one, it's not required, it's optional. And more than anything, just enjoy yourselves. Peter's going to go over the community guidelines that you picked up. And if you need a writing utensil or pad or any of that's there. If Peter's breaking you out into groups, we've got additional space here. And you can also take your lunch in there. You hear that fire alarm. Hopefully that's the only time today. But that we have a fire station down past the forest. So sometimes that happens, so don't be alarmed.
So you couldn't sell it as a house as a result.
Right. This actually used to be a rectory for the Episcopal Church that we share the grounds with. And there's a Jewish Reconstructionist synagogue that also worships there. So we're all independent of each other, but we work in tandem. So it's lovely. So without further ado, I'm going to hand things over to Peter. And he is recording his audio for what he's doing today. You won't be in that. Right. And if it's okay, if anyone is open to it, I may take pictures. You don't have to be in them. If you are, and I can show you. And we would just put it on our website to say what we did in the program. But if you don't feel comfortable, please let me know. Okay?
Yeah, your safety and comfort and enjoyment is our number one. And I know we sound like a cruise ship, and
not the new Love Boat, maybe the old one. The old Love Boat from the 70s, not the new one. All right, enjoy. Nice to meet you.
So welcome to The Well. It is a 501c3 nonprofit spiritual wellness organization founded in 2002 by visionaries who felt called to offer an innovative way to tend to the spiritual dimensions of life. The mission is to encourage and support spiritual well-being, connection, and community by offering opportunities for engagement and growth. The Well offers online and in-person programs, workshops, retreats, etc. Check out their website, Facebook, Instagram, guidelines. Listen attentively when others are speaking. Respect what others offer. We come from various backgrounds, spiritualities, and faith. We may use language that is unfamiliar to one another, especially our language describing the great mystery or God. So be sensitive to this reality and ask questions when you need clarification. Speak for yourself from your heart, your experience. Resisting the offer to explain too much. Use I statements and let others speak for themselves. What others share while we are together is both confidential and sacred. You're free to share your own experiences, insights, and learnings. Please be on time, stay till the end. And if you have special circumstances, let the facilitator know in advance. Turn off silent cell phones. I don't care about cell phones. If you have to leave, it's fine. Don't worry about it. If the class is not your thing or whatever, I would hate to make people stay, you know what I mean, through something. So,
There are other students coming.
oh, okay, great, no problem. So, as I was saying, the course was developed through a grant from the Maryland State Arts Council for veterans. And I came upon this veteran thing, and I'll just go over this really quickly because, of course, I was really concerned, with all the veteran suicides. I mean, I live in a Native American tribal way. My family is descendant of the Piscataway tribe. Hi, come on in. Welcome.
Good morning. Sorry I'm late, everybody.
That's all right.
I went to the old house.
Oh! I did the first time I came too.
Yeah, because I've been years ago.
Well, you're right on time. We're just getting started. With veteran suicide and the issue of PTSD. And I mean, my father was a veteran, and I grew up with him, and there was nothing I could do for his PTSD. And so it was after he passed that I had time and space that I reflected on it and kind of came up with this. Now, this comes because, among other things, there's an extraordinarily strong relationship between the U.S. military and the Native Americans. In fact, would it be a controversial statement if I were to say that the United States wouldn't even have a military like it does if it weren't for Native Americans? Is that a controversial statement?
No.
No.
No, because right, if the land was unoccupied, you wouldn't need to conquer it or occupy it from anyone. In addition, we all know about this incredible naming relationship and inspiration that the U.S. military draws from Native Americans. For example, the U.S. military has this thing about leave no man behind. POWs, you see the flag out and stuff like that. Guys, in Europe, at the time this place was founded, if you left, you were gone. The French Foreign Legion and all that, and England going to India and stuff, they're not bringing your remains back. This is a Native American cultural tradition. The Native Americans believed that you had to speak the same language in this life and the afterlife. And so you wanted to die close to your ancestors, so in the afterlife you would be familiar, you know what I mean? You wouldn't be in a strange place where you didn't understand what was going on. So, yeah, and now it's so deeply ingrained in the American military, people don't know where it comes from. The idea of these Apache helicopters, Tomahawk missiles, no other military, no other people except the Eastern Woodland Indians use Tomahawks, and yet that's a fundamental process of the U.S. military. Even the strategy. Today in the Ukraine, the Europeans lay down this massive amount of firepower in one location. Whereas, imagine this theory of military strategy. You send forth a scout team. They report back. You create a customized solution for a hit and run, a quick engagement. That's Native American military style. And that's the style of military strategy which ended up defeating the British in the Revolutionary War. This idea of engagements, we lose, but we still win because we're wearing you out. And we keep on engaging you and stuff like that. The United States, as you know, lost most of those battles in the Revolutionary War, but we won through wearing our opponents out. So the U.S. military has done a great job of teaching you the military side, the warrior side from the Native American perspective. But they never taught the spiritual side. Our people were run over before we could get all that out. You know what I mean? You could get the whole experience of it. And of course, in a Native American society, the veteran is the person that the parents turn to when they can't handle their kids. Go talk to the veteran. Go talk to the great warrior. He's seen it all, The great warrior is usually the most powerful spiritual person, too. Geronimo's great, warrior status was because no bullets could penetrate him. And Crazy Horse, the same thing. All these guys had spiritual elements to them as well. And so you were expected, after becoming a warrior, to become the great peacemaker, to be the one who dissuaded the young men from going to war, and that kind of thing, the wise one, and if they were to go, you were going to give them the special medicine or the sacred power or what have you. So that's where this course came about, because I felt that if our veterans had techniques which were based in somewhat Native American theology, that they would feel much more comfortable with their sacrifice for the land, because they never really understood the land, to begin with, because the land and the people, the Native people, are one. If you go to most of these tribes, like the Anishinaabe or the Piscataway here in Maryland, the Piscataway, the tribe means the people of the place where the waters flow. The Cherokee, the people from the caves. The Anishinaabe, the people of the earth. The Lenape, who are Delaware, New Jersey, New York. The Lenape are the human beings, the people of the earth. So there's this idea of, the land and the people being one. So having said that, I am going to start you with the most powerful, the most powerful stress reduction technique that I feel there is.
I need that.
What's that?
I said I need that.
Oh, good. first I'm going to tell you why. And you won't hear this anywhere else, I don't think. Or you haven't heard this anywhere else. So guys, do you know another name for the Haudenosaunee tribe? I'm just checking to see what you know about Native American history, okay? So the Haudenosaunee are also called the Iroquois, or the Six Nations. Good. Now, another statement which could be controversial. The Iroquois government was founded by Hiawatha. The government that was here before the United States was called the Great Law of Peace. What we're about to do is I'm about to share with you the laws of the Great Law of Peace. Now, why is this so powerful? Think about it. The Haudenosaunee are the world's longest running continuous operating government. It is the most resilient organization in human existence. The Haudenosaunee, was founded 1300 AD. This is about 300 years before Cromwell and the founding of the British Empire, Magna Carta, and that kind of thing. The dynasty of Haile Selassie in Ethiopia ended in 1974. That ended the Solomonic reign of government. All the other governments have either flipped or been run over or taken over or disrupted in some way, except for the one in upstate New York. They're still going today. So, that is a real testament of resilience. And this, what we're about to do, the Thanksgiving address, is the secret formula for that resilience. And as a people, the Thanksgiving address was stated before the beginning of every day, but every meeting, certainly, every sporting event. It was like a Pledge of Allegiance, all right? Now, for purposes of you, and this is an excellent prayer to say at Thanksgiving, although it is kind of long, because it's actually traditional Thanksgiving. And remember, too, this would have been extremely popular here 500 years ago, all right? But today it's rarely done, so that also gives it some weight. The idea that if you say this every day, you will become happier and happier, because the science has proven that gratitude is the antidote to depression and that kind of thing. And so I want to give you a little bit of experience of, what it would be like to say this among Haudenosaunee. So if you're doing this with your family or kids or groups, because it's meant to be recited out loud, I want you to imagine a pep rally, all right? Where whenever a person feels like it, they can beat a drum, shake the bells or rattle, or just say, yeah, all right? Because traditionally, there's a part in this. After I say, now our minds are one, the response is to go, yo. Try it. Yo. Yo. Oh. So you know how Native Americans are. As you're speaking, someone may, yo, that's right, yo, at any time while you're speaking. And so, come on in. We just got started. And so that's how, page 2. So that's how that goes. Now, and I'll orient you in a second. We'll just run through this real quick, because I got these guys all excited. Don't I?
Yeah.
Yeah, all right. Yeah. So this is, the address in traditional Iroquois fashion is taught by women to men, but recited by men to the group, okay? And again, this would happen before any business meeting, or sporting event, or class like this. This Thanksgiving address would be recited. So if this land was Iroquois or was still Algonquin, you would hear this being recited at various points as you wandered through the village in the morning, or what have you. The peak. Today we have gathered and we see that the cycles of life continue. We have been given the duty to live in balance and harmony with each other and all living things. So now, we bring our minds together as one as we give greetings and thanks to each other as people. Now, our minds are one.
Yeah.
The Earth Mother. We are all thankful to our Mother, the Earth, for she gives us all that we need for life. She has supported our feet from the very first second that we walked upon her. And it has to give us great joy that she continues to care for us as she has from the beginning of time. To our Mother, we send greetings and thanks. Now our minds are one.
Yeah.
The waters. We give thanks to all the waters of the world for quenching our thirst and providing us with strength. Water is life, and we know its power in many different forms. Waterfalls and rain, mists and streams, rivers and oceans. With one mind, we send greetings and thanks for the gift of water. Now our minds are one.
Yeah.
The fish. We turn our minds to think of all the fish life in the water. They were instructed to cleanse and purify the water. They also give themselves to us as food. We are so grateful, aren't we, that we can still find pure water. Gosh. So, we turn our thoughts now to the fish, and we send our greetings and thanks. Now our minds are one.
Yes.
The plants. We now turn to the vast fields of plant life. As far as the eye can see, the plants grow, working many wonders. They sustain many life forms. With our minds gathered together, we give thanks and look forward to seeing plant life for many generations to come. Am I right? Now our minds are one.
Yes.
The food plants. With one mind, we turn to honor all the food plants that we harvest from the garden. Since the beginning of time, the very first humans, all of the grains and the vegetables and the beans and the berries have helped us as people to survive. And many other living things draw strength from them too. So we gather all the food plants together as one and send them a greeting of thanks. Now our minds are one.
Yes.
The medicine herbs. We turn to all the medicine herbs of the world. From the beginning, they were instructed to take away sickness. They are always waiting and ready to heal us. Aren't we happy that there are still among us those special few who remember how to use these plants for healing? Oh, with one mind, we send greetings and thanks to all the medicines and to the keepers of the medicines. Now our minds are one.
Yes.
The animals. We gather our minds together to send greetings and thanks to all the animal life in the world. They have many things to teach us as people. We are so honored by them when they give up their lives and their bodies so that we can have food, shelter, comfort for our people. Oh, we see the animals near our homes and we see them deep in the forests. We are glad the animals are still here and we hope it will always be so. Now our minds are one.
Yes.
The trees. We now turn to all the tree life. We now turn our thoughts to the trees. The earth has many families of trees who have their own instructions and uses. Now, some trees provide us with shelter and shade, and others with fruit, beauty, and other useful things. And it's true that many people in the world use a tree as a symbol of peace and strength. With one mind, we greet and thank the tree life. Now our minds are one.
Yes.
The birds. We put our minds together as one and thank all the birds who move and fly about over our heads. The Creator gave them such beautiful songs. And each day, the birds remind us to enjoy and appreciate this life. The eagle was chosen to be their leader. To all the birds, from the smallest to the largest, we send our joyful greetings and thanks. Now our minds are one.
Yes.
The four winds. We are all thankful to the powers that we know as the four winds. We hear their voices moving the air as they refresh and purify the air that we breathe. The four winds help us to bring the change of seasons. From the four directions they come, and they are bringing us messages and providing us with strength. With one mind, we send greetings and thanks to the four winds. Now our minds are one.
Yes.
The thunderers. Now we turn to the west, where our grandfathers, the thunder beings, live. With lightning and thundering voices, they bring with them the water that renews life. And we are thankful that they keep those evil things made by equisseries underground. We bring our minds together as one to send greetings and thanks to our grandfathers, the thunderers. Now our minds are one.
Yes.
The sun. We now send greetings and thanks to our oldest brother, the sun. Each day, without fail, he travels the sky from east to west, bringing the light and the warmth of a new day. He is the source of all the fires of life. With one mind, we send greetings and thanks to our brother, the sun. Now our minds are one. Yes. Grandmother Moon. We put our minds together to give thanks to our oldest grandmother, the moon, who lights the nighttime sky. She is the leader of women all over the world, and she governs the movement of the ocean tides. It is by her changing face that we measure time, and it is the moon who watches over the arrival of children here on earth. With one mind, we send greetings and thanks to our grandmother, the moon. Now our minds are one.
Yes.
The stars. We give thanks to the stars who are spread across the sky like jewelry. We see them in the night, helping the moon to light the darkness and bringing dew to the gardens and other growing things. Guys, when we travel at night, it is the stars who guide us home. With our minds together as one, we send greetings and thanks to the stars. Now our minds are one.
Yes.
The enlightened teachers. We gather our minds to greet and thank the enlightened teachers of the world who have come to help us throughout the ages. When we forget how to live in harmony, they remind us of the way we were instructed to live as people. With one mind, we send greetings and thanks to all the enlightened teachers all throughout the world, all throughout the ages. Now, our minds are one.
Yes.
The Creator. We now turn our thoughts to the Creator, or the Great Spirit, and send greetings and thanks for all these gifts of creation. Because everything that we need to live a good life is here, given to us for free on this planet Earth. For all this love that is still around us to this day, we gather our minds together as one and send our choicest words of greetings and thanks to the Creator. Now our minds are one.
Yes.
Closing words. We have now arrived at the place where we end our words. Of all the things we have named, it was not our intention to leave anything out. If something was forgotten, we leave it to each individual to send such greetings and thanks in their own way. Now, our minds are one.
Yes.
You think you could build a great civilization off of that? It's kind of like an orientation, you know, other comments. To like being a human being. We never got like oriented. What are all these things? We just kind of took them for granted and stuff, right? But it's like, hey, this is what the purpose is. Other comments. I have to turn this around. Thoughts or reactions?
Kind of like being in church.
Yeah, that may be the way I do it, but it should have a kind of a sing-songy, like, you know, because you see, like, if you say water is life and everybody's like, yeah, you know, because it's kind of like a pep rally for Mother Earth. It's like saying, Earth provides us with all these things, aren't they great, and aren't you happy about it?
It is like a call and response.
It
is.
is.
Like
Mhm.
especially an African American
Yep.
Methodist,
Yep.
like an AME or Union
Yeah,
Church.
yeah. But the difference is Native Americans don't get as, like, you know, they don't, and they,
Well,
Like, well, mostly Methodist, but yes, I mean, for the literal call and response
Mhm.
portion of the service, you know, I think Baptist services are more free, and I've been to both, and I'm in a Baptist church now, but definitely growing up in a Methodist church, it's
You can see where those,
very
that's
different.
right, will come in there, you know. And it's the moon who watches over the children of earth. That's right. You know what I mean? And so, yeah. And people would pray over. They'd say, watch over my pregnant daughter. You know what I mean? They, you know, as spontaneously at that point in the thing. Because it's reminding you. It's also meant to be visual. Like when we talk about the water, streams and rivers and mists and rain. You know, it's meant to like have you visualize these things and think about water. So you have a different perspective when it rains. It's not just, you know, how it affects you, but you're starting to see that this is a gift and it's related to all these things. The other reason why this is such a strong antidote against depression, you know, or suicide in particular, is because people who are suicidal often say they feel disconnected, unconnected. This thing kind of reconnects you, tells you, hey, even the fish are doing something important for you.
everything has a purpose.
Yeah, you know what I mean? There's a place, yeah. Everything has a purpose, that's right. And that's another like traditional, not Haudenosaunee prayer, but a Native American prayer. It's like, it's something to the effect that, you know, every aunt and uncle and cousin has a, you know what I mean? A purpose, a reason for being, you know, a role to play, that's what it is. Has a role to play, each person in your family. So there's also that appreciation of that. And so the idea was that hearing this from childhood, you're looking at the world in a different way. And so that's what got them was the shock that you would, you know, cut down a tree or thousands of trees is just, you know, because this has such reverence for trees, you know. So yeah, it's different.
So can you say the tribe's name again?
Sure. Ho,
Ho.
okay. Ho, de, no, Haudenosaunee. Haudenosaunee. Everybody, this is class, you know. Haudenosaunee. Haudenosaunee.
Yeah, I was waiting for you to get through it. Haudenosaunee.
Haudenosaunee. Hey, that's kind of a, you know, like Ebonic. Haudenosaunee. Don't know Panasonic either.
You know, I came in a little late.
Sure, I'm sorry.
So I just want to know your connection.
Sure.
You know, in reference to being so in tuned into the Indian.
Sure, great question.
You know,
So my family are proctors. Does that mean anything?
Does to me.
Yeah, go ahead and tell me the story.
It's your family.
Oh, man.
You share it.
So, throughout Maryland and the District of Columbia, there's a long-standing relationship with the African American community with a family of high yellow or light-skinned blacks who are known as proctors. And throughout the ages, African Americans have tried to date or get in with the proctors. But the proctors, the word is on the street, the word was, they only stay among themselves. And that was because they were tribal people. They were related to the Piscataways of Maryland. But even the Piscataways are a conglomeration of about a dozen different smaller tribes and sub-bands that were loyal to the Tie Act. This one guy who lived in Southern Maryland, whatever he said pretty much went. Now, the Piscataways are extremely spiritual people. They're not like the Haudenosaunee. I mean, part of the reason why you guys may have liked this is because the Haudenosaunee were a matriarchal tribe. The women ran everything. It's kind of bad for Piscataway men now, because the women would say to the men who were there, we need more men. So they would come into this area, into Maryland, to kidnap men. I mean, I'm a little old or whatever, but they would take me anyway. And when you arrived in the Six Nations, in the Haudenosaunee, the land of Haudenosaunee, As a man, you had a certain amount of time to become Haudenosaunee. You were no longer Piscataway, you were Haudenosaunee. And if a woman didn't vouch for you, that was it, you were done. You were no longer part of the tribe. And it was up to them, what they would do with you. But, and that was the women. So the women insisted on this. The women insisted that this, because they ruled, they still rule today. If they said, we're no longer doing the Thanksgiving address, that would be it, would be done. So they insisted that the men say this all the time. And this is how they maintain peace. This is the great law of peace. And the laws are not written down, so you got to recite them all the time. And there's no currency, there's no domesticated animals, there's no even concept of ownership. Everything is kind of shared. So that's why the laws aren't relating to, misdemeanor and felony and all that. They were like out of their ballpark kind of thing. Because there was nothing that you would, if you stole something, they'd be like, I'll just give it to you, you know what I mean? Or if you stole something that belonged to the tribe, that was another thing. You had to deal with the entire tribe. But I don't know how to say it. If there were issues of jurisprudence, they would be decided by the Piscataway chief. That was the main role of a chief, was just listening to people's arguments and telling them how to resolve it. And with the Haudenosaunee, it's called the Grand Council. The council, I think the Six Fires or something like that. The Haudenosaunee government itself, extremely complex. God, so bureaucratic. You can't get anything done. Because you've got so many different elders you have to report to, and clan mothers, and all these people have to agree for something to happen, so it takes forever to get anything through. But you see that they're not in a rush. They're going to take 15 minutes to say thanks before they do anything else. So, yeah, it's different. And my connection, so my family's related to the Proctors of Piscataway origin. We stuck together. That's how, my grandfather, Cat Calloway, met with my grandmother. They were probably two of the lightest people at Douglas High School when they graduated, and how I came to be. So I just started getting into it, and, the door's open. There are like 4 ways you can access being an Indian if you're not born into it or don't have a card or something. You can show up at stuff. You can act like a person who is Native American. And different ways, the familiarity. You can study under somebody, and you just become accepted. Basically, no matter what you look like. That's the tradition. Just like the Haudenosaunee would capture me and take me up. Same thing with the Cherokees. They wouldn't capture people, but you were Cherokee if you said you were Cherokee. Everybody just, there's no passport or anything. If you could speak the language, you were Cherokee. And then there was this other law that as long as you spoke the same language, you would not conflict, you had no excuse for violence against one another. As long as you spoke. So that's where the language thing comes in. You just take my pencil off. And how it's so important. So, other questions. This is your big gift. Now, if that wasn't worth the price of tuition, this will. These guys are $60 in the store. I couldn't believe it. But I guess it's true. They do come from Nepal. They require a fair amount of metal and wood to make them work.
Can we open them?
Yep, go ahead. This is your next secret stress reduction method. Also thousands of years old, but not associated with the government. If you've never had one, I'll use my loudest one first. The old Tibetan singing bowl. Yeah. Singing bowls. Change the atmosphere, the environment in a room. Excellent for children, because they can understand it, they can feel it, and they're open to it. Also, when you make a bowl sing, notice how I'm concentrating. You have to concentrate really hard. You want to tell children that's how you want to feel when you're studying, when you're taking a test. You want to focus just like you're doing with the bowl. So it's training them in the capacity to learn focus. It smells like Nepal.
Did you hear me say that?
What does it smell like? I don't know, it's
I don't
different.
know, earthy, for sure.
Yeah.
Got something going.
It's a foreign country. You know, I don't have trash.
Something's
I should
going
have
on.
got it.
So I get to take this little piece.
Yes, yes. Let me get a trash can. I'll be right back.
Yeah, it does smell good.
I must not be concentrating, 'cause mine's not singing
You
yet.
gotta go a little slower.
Just quiet.
You have to dig in first and then go a little slower. And take the thing out of the inside. That's a pillow that just sits on. But in the
Got
end,
it,
you hold
got
it.
it. Well, thank you. Aren't they cool?
Alright.
Let me get you seated. I hear.
Now we take the little
Setting.
glass.
Awesome. Good, good. All right, I just need trash. I'm usually in libraries, so that's why I didn't think of this. Gordon. All right, good.
Thank you.
Really big bowl at home, and I was like, I don't think I should bring that.
Oh, yeah, that's all right. I should have coached you. You could have brought drums or
We have
rattles.
two proper mayors. You didn't mention that.
No, what did we?
Sharon Grant, Mayor Grant.
Yeah, Vince Gray, yeah. And you're from DC?
Yeah. Well, not originally. Originally I'm from Winchester, Virginia, but DC's my thing now.
Nice.
For a while.
Thank you for this.
Oh, you're welcome.
Yeah.
But you gotta learn how to do it first.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, so use the pillow, or you can fist like this, or you can kind of maybe put it on the table, or a purse is fine. The thing is, if your fingers are touching it, it won't vibrate. The thing that I want you to sense for this, for purposes of the class, is the vibration. See if you feel it vibrating. Of course you will, I think, but it's you strike it first and just go along the outside. You may have to do it quickly to get it started, but then you can slow it down. So strike it
outside.
Strike it first, yep. And then somebody got it. You got it. Did you get it?
No, she's singing over here, it sounds
am?
like to me.
You get it?
This is
Get it?
me?
It's rolling, yeah.
Yep.
Making a joyful noise.
Yep. You got it. Gosh, you guys may have to break out.
Yeah, we did, because I can't hear.
Yeah, you can come. You can.
You try it again.
As soon as I touch it.
Oh, okay, I hear something now. Oh my god, okay.
That's yours?
That was interesting. I didn't hear anything before.
Yep, you had it. You had it.
So I guess you gotta go fast in the beginning. And then
As soon as I hit a sound, and then as soon as I put this on, it stops.
it wasn't until I started going fast that I heard something, and then you try it again. And then I lose it. Maybe I need to say it.
Who else has it or isn't sure?
I'm not sure. I'm
Okay.
not sure.
Okay. A little bit faster. Circle, yep. Yep, you got it. You got it. It's you, yep. Go to another part and you can hear it better.
Do what?
Go to another part, another place in the building, yeah, and you can hear it better.
Yeah, that thing was singing.
Just keep going, keep going.
I didn't know it was gonna take
Yeah,
such
you
a
got it.
name.
You hear it? You hear it?
I even have my hearing aids in, huh?
And you can hear it?
Vaguely, yeah.
Keep going, keep going. You'll see how to get it stronger. Whoop. But I think you got, how are you doing? Good, yeah, you got it. That's you. This is mine, it's the difference. You hear yours? You hear yours?
Yeah. Oh, that's super cool. We might be able to harmonize.
Yeah, go ahead.
Because yours sounds different than mine.
Yeah, go ahead.
But I feel like I start to, maybe I'm too aggressive with it and I'm moving it around. Should I try it like this?
Yep, try it.
No fair doing this in the car on the way home.
I thought I'd be entertaining now.
Huh?
I guess you'll just have to entertain me.
Does it feel like, it almost feels like it starts to become like a magnet or something? Something like that.
So that's what you'll want to do.
Do you want to hold this loose or tight? Like, do you want to hold it just...
Doesn't matter. Here, try this. You can use the pillow if you want.
Well, Rose is making some
But that
music
should
over
be
there. Good.
Because mine's like,
You can hold that open palm too.
oh, you can? Okay.
You're almost there. You're almost there.
Oh, it's like, oh,
You're relaxing, so
Yep.
it's so relaxing.
I feel like I have to do it like that until it starts making a noise, and then when I start, but I'm like, all right, let me try it this way.
Sometimes it's the amount of pressure. You
Hear
have to
it?
put a
So-
little bit of pressure.
Okay.
Did you hear it?
Yeah.
And you can go someplace else and try to really hear it, because there's so much noise in here.
Yeah.
That's good. Did you get that one?
I didn't hear it.
Keep going, keep going. No, I mean, here, keep turning, keep turning. All right, mix and butter. You got it, you got it.
What about on the inside of the bowl?
It won't sing like that. It
So
won't sing.
always on the,
You need to pan out your hand flat.
Oh, yeah, your
Yeah,
fingers,
like
that's
that.
right.
oh.
That's right.
Yeah.
That'll definitely do
It absorbs it, right?
You can feel it.
it. Yeah,
Oh.
yeah, and it's a little bit easier.
If your
with the
fingers
bigger
are touching it a little bit.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah. That made a difference.
Really good.
Yeah.
What did...
Oh, I got it.
This is a photo opportunity. Where's for you?
Oh, yeah.
It's beautiful to see. I love the face. So the bigger the bowl, the deeper.
And a little bit easier.
Oh.
Yes, yeah. And so the bowls can correspond to each of the chakras and things
There
like
is
that.
a vibration going on now.
Yeah.
Good, good, good.
And does it feel like it's like a magnet or something? Like, I feel like this starts to get stuck or something. Like, you're like, no one else feels that.
You probably feel like the vibration through the
Oh, is that what it is? Okay.
When I had COVID, I imagined all the sickness being taken like a tornado through the bowl and going into the bowl. Bowls are excellent if somebody is going into surgery or is coming out of surgery, or you're nervous and if you're in a waiting room all night waiting or something, it's kind of good to soothe you. It'll pacify you. Again, it's really good for children. When you strike a bowl in a room, kind of changes the dimension. It is a magical thing, and the more you think about it, the more you'll see it's kind of a miracle how a bowl, can sing like that and make that sound. But that sound can soothe you to go to sleep at night and things like that. You could keep one in the office or something, just run off and do your bowl.
Do your bowl.
Yeah, or while you're on the phone. Yeah. Or while you're on the phone or something, yeah.
Right.
And people will, they'll understand. And then, they'll admire it. And the idea that I want you to get from this is to take this towards what's called throat singing. So, and I want you to imagine, and this is another technique. So you can do the singing bowl to help you relieve stress, encourage focus, relaxation. It's used at the beginning of meditation, and I'll show you the meditation in a minute. But before, I want you to imagine, so you're a goat herder, or, a guy, all in the mountains and stuff, and you're sitting in the sun all day long. There's nothing really to do. No internet, no cell phones, and all that. So what they would do as a form of meditation is listen really carefully and then begin to harmonize with the environment by making sounds from your throat based on your breathing. And you would make rhythms and stuff. So let's see if we listen really carefully. Like that's the sound I kind of hear. It's like a ooh.
You mean sound of the universe?
Yeah, you're listening, you're joining this orchestra. That's the idea, yeah, with a sound, yeah. Anything you want, whatever you want, but you're listening in such a way that you're part of the orchestra, and the singing bowl can help that, because, if you... This is a way of getting connected again to the environment, to the universe, that kind of thing. And the singing bowl can help prompt that too, as a way of getting started to doing that. Great to do in the car, you're driving down in North Carolina or something. And you'll start to make rhythmic melodies. Because you'll hear the car and you can play off of that sound. So,
now, when you did it, it seems like it got deeper as you were going around. So is it like a rhythm that you did to make it go? See how you're doing it?
Yeah, it gets louder.
yeah, it's
rhythm.
it's all has to do with the speed. If I go really quickly, I think it picks up, but it gets to a point where it overwhelms and you hear that ringing. But there also is a slow way. That may have to do with the depth of the stick too.
Oh.
Let's see. Because you can slow it and make it really. But you can see how a child would be fascinated with this. And this is a calming thing for them. And again, it's training them to focus.
So is it neurological in any way?
It may be. Because the sound itself is so pleasing, And I think this is kind of UFO stuff, really. It's serious because it's like otherworldly, you know what I mean? These sounds and things. And I don't know how it all fits, but you'll see as you do it more. It's like, and these are, again, very, very old. Unlike, do you know the history of the wok that we cook with? Mm-hmm. So, the Mongols would use that as a helmet, military helmet. So at the end of the day, they'd take the helmet off and cook with it.
The oil's already in.
I know. Yeah, and so, but Tibetan people, prior to the Mongols, were extremely pacifist, like the Haudenosaunee, very spiritual people. And so they use bowls rather than as a military instrument, as a spiritual, thing. And then, of course, we in Europe, just, it's a bowl. You're just drinking cereal out of it. Soup. That's it. But these guys looked at it as something, And it's not to say that the Europeans didn't have this, but they just took it for granted. It wasn't, special to them. Whereas the Tibetans built a whole religion and culture around the singing bowl. And they're very sacred. The only thing you don't want to do is like put it on your head and strike it, nothing like that. If you are like trying to work with someone who's sick, you may want to just like have them relax and then hold it around your body as if you're bathing, because you are sending vibrations. And that sensation will, so all of these things, guys, really are just positive distractions. So, like, I'm taking her out, like, right? You're going out. Yeah. And you can do that too. It's nothing to it for somebody else. Because what happens is, the pain is always there, but your mind is not focused on it.
Right.
You're thinking about something else, the bowl, the experience, wow, this is like,
I
So-
like that positive distraction.
I find in my practice, not everyone loves the singing bowls. It depends. It seems mostly a lot of elderly people don't care for it, and if you have a hearing aid, a lot of times they say it kind of just sounds more like
Yeah.
tinnitus
Yeah.
in your ears. So,
Okay.
but majority of people that I work with do love it.
Yeah. And what if they take the hearing aid out? Then they don't.
Yeah, I actually, they've never felt. I've only had one person with the hearing aid.
Okay,
They
say
felt
that, yeah.
comfortable.
Well, here's the second one.
Okay. Does
And
it
how did
sound
you-
funny with hearing aids in?
It doesn't sound like everybody else's.
Doesn't sound pleasant.
Well, watch your fingers.
Now I can hear it better,
Good, yeah.
even just holding it. Yeah, I can. But not with the hearing aid.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the pitch of it is outside. Because nothing else is in that range. So when they were looking at the hearing aids, they were
Yeah.
like, yeah, we don't need to worry about that frequency. Because it's really unique. I mean, what else makes a sound like
Yeah.
that?
It reminds me of a theremin. You know the theremin?
Yeah.
That is, it's a musical instrument, but it's all sound waves.
Wow.
Anyway, it's more UFO than even this thing is.
Very
Yeah.
visual. It's visual, isn't it? Is that the one with the lights that move? Okay.
It's when you get closer and farther away.
Oh, okay.
We're at 10:40.
I was saying, is there an app for that? Because it's an app for everything.
Yeah, I'm sure there is.
Singing bowl out.
Yep. Also, look up on YouTube how to do singing bowls. We can go on to Almighty Pie Meal or take a break. Do you want to take a break now? Take a 5-minute break or keep going? I told you get lunch only if you were lucky. So what the singing bowls kind of create is this sound of Om. I'll use this one. Bigger bowls, there's a Tibet store downtown, there's one in Westminster. You can go in and play the bowls. The best are the crystal bowls. Oh wow, they're so powerful. But they're, hundreds of dollars. This one was like $200. Yours are like $60. The bigger the bowl, the easier it is to play, and as you point out, the deeper. But the idea is to create this sound, again, which is harmonizing with the universe, but it's very simple, and I'm sure you've all heard it. It's just Om, all right? So the singing bowl can be used in two ways to generate the Om. The Om, think of almost like the feeling when you're going to the bathroom, number 2. You want to reach down, all the way down to that point as you're taking in the breath so that it's all the way through your body and that you're expressing the Om. So that allows you to hold the breath longer if you breathe in really deeply like that. So the bowl will inspire the Om like this. Alright, and they can work together. This again is similar to the throat singing I was talking about. I was setting you up kind of for that. The bowl also can, as you're playing it, and the Buddhist meditation, which we learned, Om is just, kind of cool. It's a nice antidote. You can get into it in a couple of seconds, you know what I mean? Somebody around you at a funeral is crying or losing it, you can just kind of, take them down. Somebody is very violent or whatever. If you start doing this in a corner or something like that, it can change the whole atmosphere of the room. But the meditation, which is Om Mani Padme Hum, all right? The Buddhist meditation, another technique, another trick you can use. Om Mani Padme Hum is none of these things, they're spiritual, but they're not religious. Like, the class isn't trying to convert you anything. You can do the Thanksgiving address or not. I don't care. It's up to you, all right? I'm not trying to convert you anything. But this is the fundamental Buddhist chant, all right? The oldest, the one that the Buddha stated was, the most universal. And what it means is, it's in the book, behold the lotus flower, the secret is in the lotus flower, something like that.
Yeah, the jewel in the
Yeah, exactly. The jewel of the wealth of the universe is in the lotus flower. Now, why is that? Anybody know about? Good. Zen, yes.
No mud, no lotus.
Yeah. Explain.
So good and bad, yin and yang, same thing, right? So no mud, the lotus grows in mud.
Yeah.
So you have to take the good with the bad, or balance and that sort of thing.
The dankest, darkest water, where nothing else will grow this beautiful lotus flower, which is a brilliant, pure white. It's as delicate as anything you've ever seen. It's like, seems so fragile and stuff. And it grows in this dirty, dark wasteland. It folds itself up at night to protect itself. And the idea is that you are the lotus flower. That's what the chant means. No matter how ugly, no matter how scary, no matter how stinky my life is, I am still going to be like the lotus flower. I'm not going to let it bother me. Y'all do your own thing, all right? And so that's where I want you to focus as you do the chant. That's what the thought or the image of is as you do the chant. You also have the image of the lotus flower itself, which, did that turn out? Can you see it? Yeah. Yeah, you can see how delicate it is and, sophisticated and stuff. The chant is really good, again, if you're driving and you're bored or feel yourself falling asleep, because what happens is, when you fall asleep, you've lost control, but when you're in the meditative state, you still have some control, so that can help you retain that. The chant is also good, when you're going through hard times, if you have negative thoughts. Of course, Buddhists will say this for 10 hours a day, in constant meditation. The idea, again, that I'm using my life as a filter for the world. All the negative pollutant stuff will be caught by me, because I'm doing this chant. You know what I mean? It's saying I'm bringing beauty into the world by doing this chant. I am a lotus when I'm doing this chant. So that's why people are so committed to it. All right? And it goes like this. It starts with the Om, and then the Mane, M-A-N-A, Mane, then Padme, which I think was a character in Star Wars, right?
Yeah.
Padme.
Or Thai dish.
Yeah, Padme, yep. Pad Thai. And then Om again, back to the center. So you're going from the center of creation to creating something beautiful, back to creation. So that by saying Om, you're kind of waking up the spirits. It's like an alarm clock. Om. Om Mani Padme Hum. Om. Om Mani Padme Hum. Om. Om So it's kind of hard to pick up a rolling pin and bust somebody in the head after. You know, you're brought into another place, and it's this feeling of connectedness with the mystery of the universe, because all these things are like beyond us, you know what I mean? But we sense them, and it's sort of border, you know, stuff. So that's where it's very spiritual, and that's where it's a stress antidote, because it has the power. Just doing that, and you don't need the room to do it. Do it by yourself, and it has the power to. You saw how the room shifted. The whole energy, did you feel it? Of the room shifted and went back. Y'all didn't feel it? You want to do it again? Because that's the important thing about the class. You got to feel this stuff.
I heard a little bell after you stopped.
Yeah, that was someone's phone. It may have been.
That was my wife.
Oh,
Yes.
it was your wife. It was
Nice.
perfect.
It was. So, you feel what the energy of the room is now, right? Another great meditation, Buddhist meditation, the laughing meditation. Everybody just starts laughing. And you can't help but join in. Where my glasses go?
Right there.
Sorry, guys. But that's another meditation, all right? So that also shifted the energy of the room. And all you need is one or two people who are with you for it to work.
So are there, I guess, there are multiple meditations,
Mhm.
right? There are more, okay.
Another one very popular in the West that you'll hear is Nam Myoho Renge Kyo. That was the one Tina Turner used.
Yes.
Right.
That's the one that Angela Bassett was doing in the movie.
Right. There you go.
go.
Yep.
Yeah.
Same thing. And so, in that sense, Nam Myoho Renge Kyo is being used for spiritual, religious purposes, but we're trying to use it for non-religious as well. So that's why I didn't go to that one, because it's more evangelical. I don't know, Om Mani Padme Hum, although it can be evangelical or considered religious, I'm trying to look at it just as an objective thing you do. And the only reason I could come to this is because Native Americans never quarrel about religion. Never. And there's a very famous quote from Red Jacket in 1751. He says, "Why do you guys quarrel about religion? You have the book, don't you?" You know, he's like, it's right there, you know. So they never really understood why there were so many different religions, because
What book?
the Bible.
Bible.
Yeah, you've got the book. Or the Muslims, they would say, you've got the Quran. Why do you fight? Why do you disagree with each other? It's right there in the book. We don't even have a book.
I was gonna say.
Yeah, so, and that's why we don't quarrel, because it's not written down, it's fluid. It just changes, you know? And so the powwow is it's an invention since the Wounded Knee battle, you know? It started in the 1870s, 1880s. Picked it up. And some people you'll talk to and they'll say, oh, the powwow is not spiritual. But yet, people have spiritual experiences at a powwow, you know? So it's a ceremony, it is a ceremony. And so the Native American religion, completely fluid. And that's the tribe here in Maryland was the first. The Piscatawas were the first to convert to Catholicism and Christianity of all the tribes in North America. And that's because they were like, oh yeah, okay, you know. Yes.
So with the singing bowl, is that more individual kind of clearing, or can it be used for group clearing?
What do you think? Yeah, you can use it for group.
intention.
Yeah.
Yeah, you get the rope, get the.
Alright, let's see if we can feel a change this time.
Yeah, y'all want to do it?
Yeah.
All right. Oh, different pitch. Oh, Mane Padme Hum. Come back to the Om. Om Mane Padme Hum. Om. Like you're
it when I focus on matching it up with my breathing.
Mm.
If I had not focused on that, then maybe not. But
Good.
this time I was like, okay, I gotta try to get the breath right, to go. And then once I did that, I was like, oh, I'm more relaxed, and,
Yeah, good. All right, so that one's in the book, right? And you feel like you got it. Does it seem useful?
Yeah.
Good. You could. I was thinking that you could almost use this as a procession at a funeral. It's like, oh, but then again, it could be entering the Queen. Oh my, and the Queen enters the room. You know what I mean? So it has these flexibility uses that you can use accordingly. But it can be grouped if you use it as ceremony. Like the bowl, and I can demonstrate for you. So you can take the bowl, if say someone is sick or they're just willing, and take it around their body, and you'll see that. I can't get it to sing. Well, let me just. See, it kind of creates sensations, doesn't it?
I remember your church.
Yeah, it's very spiritual, yeah. Yeah, and they do that bell in church, yeah. And that's for the group, but you're right, we're using it more for individuals. What do you think, Maria? Doing good?
Doing good.
We are going to skip one more, and then we'll take a break. Then we're seriously taking a break. Page 19, you're going to learn another chant. We'll do chant after chant here, all right? Shifting channels to a different religion. The Hindu religion. This is the oldest known chant of the Hindu religion. It is, again, the fundamental mantra, if you will. It's a little bit more than a chant. It's called, I guess, a mantra as opposed to a song. It was initially only said by young men, and even then it was at the time of their coming of age. When you recited this, you were considered responsible enough to have a family if you could successfully recite this, because it was, of course, the man's responsibility to lead the family in the Gayatri Mantra. The Gayatri Mantra, it's, to me, it refers to, and I take this interpretation, but of course there are going to be all different types of interpretations. So, you may hear someone, completely, no, that's not it, that's not it at all. But I think when the early human beings in India were looking for evidence of the power and the presence of God, the first thing that they saw was the sun. And think about this even with the Thanksgiving address. If the sun doesn't rise, man, that is bad for all humans and life, So the sun was thought to be the most beautiful, creative, inspirational thing. It gives life to everything. And although the mantra is not worshiping the sun per se, it is sort of referencing the sun, if you will, in an oblique way. Because take a look at the translation. So it starts with that Om, which stands for the consciousness of the physical world. So, and then it adds these terms, Bur Bhuvasva. Om Bur Bhuvasva. Consciousness of the physical world, the mental world, and the celestial world. All right? That which gives birth to the best, or the choicest. Om Tat Savitur Varenyam. Whose beautiful radiance and wisdom flows like waters. Again, this is sort of referencing the sun, if you will, with the radiance. Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi. Whatever you are that creates the best and the choicest, that radiates and is wise, move us forward, move me forward in a specific direction. That's all it's saying. So it's from Most Beautiful. It goes, Bargo Devasya Dimahi Diyo Yona Prachodaya. Ooh. Okay? And this chant is most auspicious if done between like 4 and 8 a.m. 108 times. Sorry. I mean, it takes like 20 minutes or half hour. 20 minutes.
To do it 108 times?
It takes me about a half hour. I do it slow. But they can run it through it. They can do it in 10 minutes. Just like the Haudenosaunee. You're going to hear an actual Haudenosaunee do the Thanksgiving address. You're going to be like, that is nothing like I heard. My instructor did it. Because the Haudenosaunee is just like the Islamic prayer. They run through it so fast. Scott Nagwayet, yo, Scott Nagwayet, yo, Scott Nagwayet, you know, they just run through it. Same thing with the Muslims. How does that prayer go? Bismillahirrahmanirrahim, Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. Whereas I'm saying it like, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. If I was teaching that, that's how I would teach it to you, you know? So it's totally different. Same thing with this. You're going to hear Hindus just run through this thing real fast, but whereas you will take a half an hour, and they will grow frustrated with you because they understand. But yeah, between 3 and 6 a.m. can be done 3 times a day. You know, like if I was expecting a child or something, I would probably do this 3 times a day, but usually if I'm like making bricks or something, you know what I mean? So it's not, you know what I mean? There are no rules, just don't break it. But according to the religion, that's how it's done. So, and again, it's a song. I'm going to do it a couple times. As you feel comfortable, you can join in. Then what we'll do is we'll stop, we'll break it down so that you get each part, and then we'll do it all together as one.
And you know the 108 connection, the beads.
Yeah.
There's 108 beads, so it's much like a rosary. They say their prayer with each bead.
Yep.
Beads that you see people wear long beads around.
Yep.
So you can't start and then like
No,
stop and
you
then
can't. It's no rules, no break. That's what I'm teaching to you.
Because it's like I was about to say, I gotta sit there and when I start, I can't stop until I've done it 108 times or, okay.
Yeah, you can start. Again, these are, we're not really, I'm just explaining to you the religion. We're not doing it in a religious context, so do it once or twice or whatever.
Okay.
Gayatri Mantra, another excellent one if you're driving long distances, because you can just roll with this one. And you'll see how, once you start it, it just kind of rolls. And 108, you know, you need beats because you may go over. But it's yeah. But this Gayatri Mantra is another game changer. It's you'll see, because you know the meaning behind it, all right? I'm asking this power that creates excellence to guide me, all right? So it'll take away your stress and stuff like that as well. Because you're turning this over, whatever's bothering you, over to a higher power. And you're saying, I can't control this, but guide me in a loving, good way, all right? So it goes like this. And again, you can do this with the singing bowl. Strike the singing bowl. You want to hit it. Good.
Nice.
No, go
That
ahead.
was the inside.
That's right. Om Bhuvasva Om Tatsavitur Varehenya Bargo Devasya Dimahi Diyo Yona Prachodaya. Om Bhuvasva Om Tatsavitur Varehenya Bargo Devasya Dimahi Diyo Yona Om Tat Savitur Varenyam Bargo Devasya Dhimahi Diyo Yona Prachodaya. Om Bhurvasva Om Tat Savitur Varenyam Bargo Devasya Dhimahi Diyo Yona Prachodaya. Om Bhurvasva Om Tat Savitur Varenyam Bargo Devasya Dhimahi Diyo Yona Prachodaya. Om. 3 more times. Om Bhurvasva Om Tat Savitur Varenyam Bargo Devasya Dhimahi Diyo Yona Prachodaya. Om Bhurvasva Om Tat Savitur Varenyam Bargo Devasya Dhimahi Diyo Yona Prachodaya. Om Tat Savitur Varenyam Bargo Devasya Dhimahi Diyo Yona Prachodaya. One more. Om Bhurvasva Om Tat Savitur Varenyam. Good. Bargo Devasya Dhimahi Diyo Yona Prachodaya. Good. Now you'll be able to impress all your Indian friends.
Oh, yeah.
Where did you learn that?
So this P is pronounced like a B?
Which the D? D.
Called
Bracho, yeah.
Pracho.
Pracho, it shouldn't fry, yeah. It's B's and B, P's and B's are hard to. Same thing with Daya. I think I've heard it say Gaia, but we'll see. All right, let's break it down. Because it has a kind of a rhythm to it,
It does.
right? Hom, Bur, Vasva. Try that. Hom, Bur, Vasva. Good. Hom, Bur, Vasva. Again. Hom, Bur, Vasva. Again. Hom, Bur, Vasva. It's like a wake-up call. Hom, Bur, Vasva. Hey, world! Hom, Bur, Vasva. Good. Hom, Bur, Vasva. Good. You feel like you got it? Okay. Then let's take the second one. I'm going to do the first one and then go to the second one. Ready? Or we can do it together. The first one if you want. Hom, Bur, Vasva. Hom tat savitur Valeam. Try again. Hom tat savitur Valeam. Om tat savitur Valeam. Om tat savitur Valeam. Bargo. Try that. Bargo. Devasya Dhimahi. One more time. Bargo. Devasya Dhimahi. Good. Dio Yona. Try it. Dio Yona. Good. Prachodaya. Prachodaya. And then it's back to O. Oh. You want to do it 5 or 6 times? Make sure you got it?
Yeah.
Okay. Om. Hom Bhurvasva. Hom Tat Savitur Varenyam. Bargo. Devasya Dhimahi. Dio Yona. Prachodaya. Hom Bhurvasva. Om Tat Savitur Varenyam. Bargo. Devasya Dhimahi. Dio Yona. Prachodaya. Hom Bhurvasva. Hom Tat Savitur Varenyam. Bargo. Devasya Dhimahi. Dio Yona. Prachodaya. Hom Bhurvasva. Hom Tat Savitur Varenyam. Bargo. Devasya Dhimahi. Dio Yona. Isn't that beautiful? Gosh, and it's thousands of years old. It may be like 3,500 years old. And so as a result, because it's so old, it's like basic human, you know what I mean? It's like anybody can get into it. Like even if you're in North Korea or Russia or whatever, you can like feel how it affects you. It sort of pushes buttons inside of you. So, good. All right, I gotta give you guys a break.
I'll take a bathroom break.
Yeah, do it. And tour the place, go up to the 3rd floor. It's your lunch break or whatever. And when you get, yeah. Come on, how long do you want to take? half an hour, 11:15. So we'll meet 11:45. It's up to you. Yeah. If you want to go off campus, that's cool. When we come back, we'll do dance because after lunch, everybody's like. So I'm gonna give them an early lunch break. It's the first break they've had.
I'm loving hearing the singing.
Oh, good. The Gayatri mantra, yeah. Yeah, these guys are beautiful.
Yeah.
Man, they really are. Now you see why I record.
Yeah. Did anybody want to see the upstairs?
Yeah.
Come and take a look.
Check it out because I'm expecting you all to have classes here, to teach classes and to take classes. Now that you found out about this place.
How long have you been at this location?
We have been here about a year and a half.
Okay.
So during the pandemic, late winter, early spring, we moved here in 2021.
Okay, 'cause I used to go to classes at the
On Pennsylvania Avenue? Yeah. Yeah, we needed a bigger space, and this also worked out auspiciously for other reasons. And again, now, I don't know if I mentioned this before you got here, we're on a campus with the Episcopal Church, but a Jewish Reconstructionist congregation also worships there. So we're independent, but we do a lot of things together. We're collaborating.
And there's all different kinds of spaces here. There's like one-on-one spaces as well as more conference spaces and stuff like that.
Yeah. So if you brought lunch or you have a snack or something, you can use this room. That's our creative space. Beyond it is a neat little meditation room, but I moved some of the furniture over there, so that's why it looks a little crowded. Does everyone know? I just want to yeah, let me show you that. Poor thing.
Got our lunch.
It's older.
I felt
I want to go with you.
It's very relaxing, isn't it?
Yeah, go around. It's a nice place to have lunch too.
Actually look outside.
Yeah. Imagine doing the Thanksgiving address outside.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, it's so nice. Yeah.
Imagine you teaching this class outside.
Yeah. I could,
Yeah.
Pretty atmosphere.
Yeah, it is.
We're right here, we've got Chiquita, the traction or not.
What?
I said, are you gonna admit, Chiquita, that you're actually Native American?
What's that?
Yeah, but he didn't mention Navajo at all.
No, Danae.
She's
Navajo? Wow. Congratulations, right?
Yeah, I didn't know until I was older.
Right.
But the rest of the world seemed to know before I did, just by looking at me.
Yeah.
They would say, "Oh, you're Native American." And I said, "Maybe." And then I met my family.
Gosh. And it fits you like a glove.
Yeah, for the first time when I went to New Mexico, the first time I actually felt like I belonged. Because growing up, other than my dad, like my mom had strawberry blonde hair, pale skin, Irish, Welsh, and then we had the Italian, Native American, and so I'm quite a Heinz 57 actually,
Yeah,
but finding all that out and just learning is fascinating.
it is amazing. And how did you end up way in the East?
Well, my grandmother divorced her husband, and then she met my grandfather while he was stationed at Indiantown Gap. And she got pregnant to him, but he was not typical white American. Her family really fought her on it. I guess her husband was not able to have kids. But they got back together. My grandfather ended up back in New Mexico, and she ended up back with her husband, who gave my dad his name and everything. But as an adult, when my grandmother died, she had always told me there was a letter behind the drawer in her dresser that we would need to read. And so my dad had never met his birth father, his real father.
Wow.
And his dad wasn't very kind. So he really wanted to meet him, so we did. It was kind of crazy you know, just going there and, well, my dad and I were supposed to go together, but things didn't quite work out with him, so I went by myself. Showed up, I said to my uncle, my grandfather had 11 other kids after my dad.
What did you bring for lunch?
So,
He's like, which one are you?
yeah, so he's the oldest of the 12, you know. But I'm very close with him now. You need help there?
Yeah, I was just doing stuff there.
All right.
Takes a while.
I got
Yeah, protein bar. I'll give her an incentive.
I was gonna say those are snacks.
He's gonna give us incentive.
Yeah, let's start walking. Follow the bowl.
Oh, yeah, I didn't bring anything like that because I didn't know if they had a microwave.
Restroom?
No. You need restroom?
So we go over here to eat.
It's like, where
I'm gonna take this out and then I'm gonna.
Let me open the door for you.
There's water, tea, coffee.
Uh-oh. Maybe we brought up a bad idea. Oh, there you go.
So they want us.
Oh, they have it outside?
Uh-huh.
Uh-huh.
I saw it on the way in.
Yeah, I think I want it.
Oh, thank you, Gordon.
I think I want to eat outside. Maybe not. It's a little chilly. So how long have you been doing the,
class.
yeah?
How long have I been doing it? I guess I started the beginning of this summer. Look, you guys had one of these bells I could have used. And this one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, some chimes.
Oh. Okay. Good show, Gordon.
So how's it gone so far? Good. It's sounding great. I'm just up there doing my thing and hearing all the.
Are we allowed to eat in here?
You can.
Okay. I wasn't sure.
Yeah, you can eat wherever you want. Yeah.
So, yeah.
Good.